What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the 444 Philly Fan Podcast. The Sixers played tonight against the Detroit Pistons. Unfortunately, Joel Embiid did not play, and usually when that happens, we do not win. And that's exactly what happened today. Sixers lose this one 119-104 against the Detroit Pistons. As I said, Embiid did not play today. You're not going to win games without the MVP, and it's pretty clear to me that the Sixers do need Joel Embiid on the floor at all times if they want to win games. It's just pretty much how it's gone this season. He is, in my mind, the MVP of the league. And if this doesn't prove it, I don't know really what will. Dwight Howard cannot play 24 minutes a night. He pretty much has proven that every single game that Embiid has not played in. He was 2 for 5 with he only had one turnover, but it seemed like he had way more. He just cannot catch the ball. He's clumsy. He's just odd. He's an odd player to have on the floor for that many minutes, especially for this point in his career. Again, he only put up 5 shots. And he had 5 points, but 5 points to 27 is a big, big difference. And that's the difference between Joel Embiid and Dwight Howard. And as I said, Dwight Howard, he's a great backup player. He's a great backup center for Joel Embiid. But he is not a starter anymore. And I think that these 4 games without Embiid have proven that. You have the game against the Cavs, you get blown out. You have the game against the Pistons tonight, you get blown out. I can't tell you how many times that when Embiid doesn't play, we get blown out by 14 or more. We played Denver, got blown out. And there's a game that I'm missing. I think it's Memphis. We didn't get blown out, but we still lost. We're 12-2 with Joel Embiid. He's the MVP. It's just that simple at this point in time. Ben Simmons only played 21 minutes tonight. He was in foul trouble early, finished with 4 fouls, 11 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals. He's always going to get, his assists and his steals, and he's going to do him. But he was only on the floor tonight for 21 minutes. He played like 7 minutes in the entire first half. It can't happen. You're the second guy, especially to Tobias Harris in this matter. Tobias did him. He had 25 points. He had a block, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 10 of 19 from the field, 3 of 6 from the three-point line. And, when you're missing that guy that was, -2 on the night, it's going to hurt. And that's exactly what happened today. It hurt. Bad. And, that didn't help. Curry, also on minute restriction still, played 22 minutes tonight, 2 of 10 shooting, 1 of 4 from the three-point line. He finished with 7 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. The team, desperately needs Embiid. I think this is a 100% win if Embiid plays, and I think that everybody, around the NBA and people that look up stats and everything that didn't watch the game know that Embiid is that big of a difference to where we lost by 15 points. If you have Joel Embiid, you probably win this one by 10 plus. It sucks. It really does. I hate losing. Sixers are 12-6 on the year now. Still first place in the East, which is nice. But we have a huge game on Wednesday. Primetime basketball, nationally televised against the Lakers. That is one that I'm pretty sure. I understood why Embiid did not play today. But, Wednesday night is going to be a fun one. I can't wait for it. Him versus Anthony Davis is something that we didn't get the chance to see last year. He didn't play a year ago today against the Lakers, and he didn't play them later on before the shutdown. During that LA road trip, he didn't play the Clippers or the Lakers. So we got to miss out the battle of the bigs last year. We split with Jokic. won one, we won home, we lost away. We know where Embiid stands with the top tier bigs, but I would love for him to get a big W against the LA Lakers. That's just something that I love to do. I love beating the Lakers. I love beating LeBron and the Celtics and the Nuggets and the teams that get compared to us. I think we are a top 5 team, top 6 team in the league. I definitely see it. We get compared to these teams, and I love beating these teams. I would like to do it a lot more in the playoffs because, it definitely seems that we do struggle there a little bit, but we beat them in the regular season. We have had the track record of beating these guys in the regular season, especially LeBron James. I don't know why that is, but, Ben Simmons, I expect him to play a lot better like he usually does against LeBron. But back to this game, Danny Green, 22 minutes. The starters didn't even hit 30. None of the starters hit 30 minutes. Tobias Harris finished with 29, but Danny Green had 22, Dwight had 24, Simmons had 21, Seth Curry had 22. Danny Green finished with 6 points, minus 19. Dwight was minus 23. I mean, that's a huge difference from what Embiid brings to the table. And I'm not blaming this loss on Dwight. It was just not a good game from anybody. Look at just the shooting percentages. Shake, 3 of 10. Furkan, 3 of 8. Tony Bradley had a solid game, 5 of 7 with 12 points and 9 rebounds. But he's Tony Bradley. I don't expect him to do this night in and night out. He's definitely not going to get minutes over Dwight either. Maxey had a decent game, 6 of 12, 2 from 3. He finished with 17 points. That was second on the team, but he kind of got a couple, baskets at the end of that one. Matisse, 1 of 3 from the field. He was getting it in with Blake Griffin early in this one, and, you could definitely see that Blake was a little razzled, and, I don't like Blake Griffin. He bugs me. Josh Jackson, what he did tonight, that was just a mess. If you watch the game, you know what Josh Jackson did. I don't have to explain it. He got ejected. But we went deep into the bench today. Terrence Ferguson played. Paul Reed played. It was just not a good game. Not a good night for the Sixers. When Ben Simmons isn't playing 22 minutes, when he's playing 21 minutes in a game, you're not going to win very many of them unless if you have Joel Embiid playing. And that just wasn't the case tonight. So, the Sixers lose this one, 119-104. We have a big game again against the Lakers. We play the Timberwolves on Friday. Short week this week, only 3 games. Unfortunately, we started this one off 0-1. But I expect a very good game out of Joel Embiid on Wednesday for missing this one. I know it's probably not fully his fault, and I know that, they want to rest Joel Embiid. I understand that. You're playing the Pistons. But, for these games, you got to play him. We're 0-4 without him, and we're 2-12 with him. He is the clear consensus MVP of the league right now. And, just look at record, look at stats. It's all there for Joel Embiid to win it right now, but I don't care about that, really. I care about winning a championship, and you're not going to win a championship without Joel Embiid being out on the floor, which does make sense, and that is why we do rest him a lot of games. I understand it. I've been dealing with it with Joel Embiid since he's been in the NBA. They have been resting this guy, and it has worked. You do get Joel Embiid basketball in the playoff time, and that's what you need. But I think at this point in his career, he's in his prime, 26 years old. I think, he's going to start getting less and less rest days later on in the season, depending on where we're at in the standings. But, a game like this, I definitely understand why Joel Embiid rested. But unfortunately, the team just could not rally. We couldn't get past 7 points, it seemed like, all night. Every time we did, what's his face? Wayne Ellington destroyed us. He had 23 points. DeLon Wright, 28 points. Jeremy Grant, 25 points. I mean, 3 guys scored in the 20s on the Pistons. You're not going to win a game like that, especially when you're missing your by far best player. Not going to happen. But, you know, we have a game against the Lakers on Wednesday. That's a big game. That's a game that everybody will be watching to really tell where Joel Embiid kind of stands in the league and where the Sixers stand in the league. I'm very excited for it, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are too. But, with that being said, thank you all so much for tuning in to the 4 for 4 Philly Fan Podcast. Sixers lose this one, 119-104 to the Detroit Pistons. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This is your host. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I am out. Peace.